So we can go ahead and do introductions. So Mike Rosek is our president, CEO. Mark Hedinger is our executive vice president. David Scouten is our SVP of IT. Valerie Matthias is our SVP of Finance, CFO. Rahi Saeed is our associate board member. And Julian Curry is also one of our board members. Welcome, Julian. Now that the gang's all here, I'm going to turn the presentation over to Mike. So Mike, take it away.
Well, again, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Jessica and invited guests. We're just really great and excited that you could join us today. And, you know, we've been introduced to the team. So again, just like to, first of all, welcome you. And, you know, we're pleased to be able to present the $6,500 donation to Channel One. It's one of those things where, you know, access to food, housing, and education are really the foundation for success for really any, you know, of our communities, and helping families who may be struggling with food insecurity is where we believe at this time we can really make the greatest impact. So especially this year when the pandemic has affected so many families in our community. So we just, again, as an organization felt, you know, we love to be good corporate citizens, and we felt like this was a, you know, a fabulous opportunity to make a real difference in our community. So we decided to reach out to Channel One and you know, present that donation. So.
That's amazing. You're absolutely right about the need right now. We're seeing such an increase in, you know, food insecurity and the need, and people who have never really needed food programming or any sort of services all of a sudden are finding themselves in a strange position, and an unfamiliar position, and they don't really know what to do. I mean, it's sad, but we see a lot of families who mothers will skip meals before they'll come to us, and we don't want that to happen. So we've done a lot of outreach as well. So donations like this are fantastic to help us to get more food out into the community, and get it directly to them in different areas of you know, distribution, so that even if they can't get here, they're still able to get some help. So thank you.
Yeah, and again, it was one of those things where, you know, we see on the news so much, you know, it's going around not only here but nationally. But you know, it's our, you know, being a community-based credit union, we just felt like, again, is there something that we can do in the community that can make an impact, that can make a difference? So you know, that was one of those things that we had a lot of discussions about here recently. So you know, we're just very pleased to be able to have this opportunity to help, and, you know, and make as good of impact. Could you again tell us, Jessica, what you know, what the impact of this donation is in terms of the number of meals that?
Yeah, you said 65, correct?
$6,500, yes.
Okay, let me just really quick. So 26,000 meals that provides. That's huge.
It's very huge.
Yeah, it is.
It's just blowing us away. And so what is that? So how does that work? So
sure.
Do you deliver the meals, or how does that work?
Several ways. So I'll just kind of give you a little rundown about how our organization works, and like where your money's going, just so that you have a better idea of that. So, oh, fantastic. So basically, as a food bank, what we do, and I don't know, again, how in depth you know about our organization, but because we're a food bank, we have extremely great buying power. We can stretch every dollar donated into 4 meals. And as a food bank, we serve food shelves throughout the county. So that's kind of the difference between the food bank and a food shelf. food bank is like a hub. We have this huge network of a fleet of trucks and warehouses and buying powers and relationships with growers and farmers and manufacturers to get all this food, and then we store it, separate it, and make it available to, I think we have about 200 partner agencies, we call them, or food shelves or food programs across 14 counties in southeastern Minnesota. So that's how far our reach is and how far your reach will go. And so we really do serve the entirety of southeastern Minnesota. And then we also are kind of unique because not many food banks have an actual food shelf attached to them, but we do. Our food shelf is on site, and we serve Olmsted County. We see probably about 3,500 households a month, which kind of is steadily increasing. And so we have that as one of our programs, the food shelf. People can come anytime. We have a great variety. It looks just like a store, to help people have that dignity and integrity of walking into like a store-like setting, selecting their items and putting them in a cart. And that's about it. But then we also have other programs. We do some childhood hunger programs. Before COVID, we worked with the school district to do backpack programs. And basically what that is we would send children home with some food on the weekends because, a lot of things that the teachers were seeing if kids were, facing food insecurity at home is they would come back to school not ready to learn, not focused, acting out because they're hungry. And so we provide food for those kids at home and then also snacks for them at school. That has kind of shifted a little bit since we no longer have school in progress. So we actually have developed a prepared meals program to help offset that, and help to get kids the food that they're missing by not being in school. So we're partnering with Rochester Public Schools. We've got 6 distribution sites in Olmsted County where we give families prepared meals. We give them 2 meals for every person in their household, so they can come and get those every week, along with RPS provides some school meal kits as well for the students. Then we also have a nutrition assistance program for seniors. Seniors is another, part of the community where we see a little bit of need. A lot of them are on fixed incomes or seeing increased medical bills and have a hard time keeping their shelves and pantries stocked as well. So we have a program where we go to a lot of the high rises or assisted living places and make sure that they are getting boxes of food as well. And then we also started just very recently offering delivery of groceries. I just had a woman call this morning and say that she now has COVID and is unable to get where she needs to get and already was struggling. So she was really thrilled to hear that we have this delivery service that we actually set up through the COVID-19 hotline, which is manned by the public library. And people can just call that and ask for a delivery of their groceries. We do contactless delivery of our groceries as well. So we've made a lot of changes since COVID, but we're really working hard to really increase that distribution. Like I said, the prepared meals, when even during the summer, we were working with the schools to have distribution sites to deliver or to hand out big boxes of food as well. So it's been a lot of work. That was a lot to just dump on you right there, but and mobile pantries, that's another one I don't want to forget to touch on. Our mobile pantries are huge as well. We identify places in southeastern Minnesota that are known as food deserts, where there is not affordable grocery options. There is definitely no food shelves or food programs for them to get assistance. The nearest affordable grocery store or somewhere that's not like a Dollar Tree where you could get some basic food, but that's not where we shop for our groceries usually. And we bring literally the pantry to them so they can come. We meet at a location that we identify, and we see some great responses there and people who are really grateful that we're coming to them as well. So yeah, hopefully that gives you some insight into that. And then, let me know if you have questions on anything I've just said as well.
Well, that's amazing, and really appreciate that, that update, that snapshot. I mean, you guys do amazing work, and this just amplifies our we're thrilled to be able to help out in this way. So really, appreciate that update. And, and one of the other things too is that, First Alliance, First Alliance Credit Union, we have a field membership that's primarily, in the 5 counties in southeast Minnesota. So no doubt this will, not only help those communities, but presumably help the members that, in some ways may need it, our own members. And so that's maybe making this a win-win all the way around. So again,
it is, and
we're thrilled.
These people that are coming are truly our neighbors. They're literally, I mean, whoever your kids are going to school with, maybe people that you work with, it's just amazing. I also met a really wonderful woman, and I love to tell the stories that I hear because I think those are some of the most impactful. But I met a woman who actually worked for the school district. And then when COVID hit and they had to shut down the schools, she was part of the team. She actually worked in the cafeteria. So she saw firsthand how important these meals were for kids. And then she was part of the team that distributed meals for these kids out of school so kids could come to school and get meals still. She was part of that team that put that together. And then within a month after that, she was let go. She was laid off.
Wow.
And then had to start, and because she knew of our program and how great, our services were, had no problem or qualms coming to see us. So it's just really disheartening to see these people who are doing such good for the community, and all of a sudden, we see people who are giving turning into people who are needing to receive. So it's humbling and it's wonderful. And then the community's response has been great. Like people like you, your donations mean so much. Again, $1 makes 4 meals. It's important. And the generosity I've seen has been overwhelming and really, really, really amazing.
That's fantastic. Does any member of the team, have any questions for Jessica, or have anything you wanted to say to her or to the group as a whole?
Jessica, during COVID, this is Mark, there's been a strain on being able to get volunteers, because how do you have people that come and volunteer and help put boxes together and things like that? So how have you guys been able to manage that?
That is a great question. I was going to try to do a shameless plug before this is over about our volunteering. So thank you for that opportunity.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, volunteers are so important to us. Our volunteers, within a year, they basically equate to about 20 full-time staff. That's huge. Like, we really could not do what we do without our volunteers. We see a dip in our volunteer participation, mainly because our number one demographic for volunteers is a vulnerable population. So, the elderly, they have been staying away a little bit more. So we did see a decline in that, but we're still doing okay. I mean, we do need volunteers. We are constantly advertising and recruiting, but we're making it. We just recently reopened our food shelf because at the beginning of the pandemic, it was kind of a smaller food shelf. We shut down and did curbside distribution only, and then in October, we just reopened it again to the public after doing some remodeling, making it bigger, and everything like that. So we are, with this reopening of the food shelf, we're seeing an increased need in volunteers. So yeah, we need volunteers stocking shelves, stocking fridges. You can imagine what keeping a grocery store stocked looks like, and we're busy.
Yep.
There's people coming through all the time, so it's constantly needing to be stocked and kept full for our clients. So yes, we do need volunteers.
And I'm assuming the protocols and guidelines for volunteers are on your website on how they can make sure that they're not passing on COVID-19, correct?
Yeah, exactly. So we everything is online about how to volunteer. There's some videos, you have to sign up. There's some civil rights basic training, things like that. And then yes, every volunteer that comes into the building has a questionnaire. It's like you go to the clinic, You get your questionnaire, you get temped, you get a little sticker saying that you have been checked so that everybody else in the building knows that you've been checked. We try to keep people as far away as possible. So we're very mindful here. We're a small team, and even the amount of volunteers we have at one time, it's probably about 3 or 4 volunteers at one time. So we have to be very careful. If one of our team goes down, there's not a lot of options. So we're very careful here.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jessica. Thank you, First Alliance team. This has been really wonderful. Our first ever virtual check presentation. Again, you know, all of us at First Alliance, we're just so happy that we were able to help you guys out.
I'm so happy too. You guys are fantastic. This means a lot. I mean, I don't know if you have plans on making a post or anything like that. It's a beautiful check. It would be a shame for people to not see it. So if you do, please make sure you tag us so that we can share as well.
Sure, we sure will. We sure will. Well, thank you so much, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.
You too. Happy Monday. This was the highlight of my Monday. So thank you.
Awesome.
Thank
Glad we
you.
could be part of it.
Awesome. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.